So what did we cover yesterday? We're on chapter 24, 23. What was in 23? Yeah, we didn't see some... we saw some bad times, but then Josiah took over, and we saw some really good times. But Josiah passed away, and I believe his son didn't do right by God. Yeah, he did evil in the sight of the Lord. So, I mean, we had it good for one reign, and then it fell back. So today we're in chapter 4, and according to the subheadline, it looks like Judah's gonna have it coming to him.
In his days, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came up, and Jehoiakim became his vassal for 3 years.
Jehoiakim is Josiah's son. Right? Then Pharaoh Necho made Eliakim, the son of Josiah, king in place of his father Josiah, and changed his name to Jehoiakim. So we're talking about Josiah's son right now.
Jehoiakim became his vassal for 3 years. Then he turned and rebelled against him. And the Lord sent against him raiding bands of Chaldeans, bands of Syrians, bands of Moabites, and bands of the people of Ammon.
So Nebuchadnezzar turned against
Jehoiakim. He sent them
Jehoiakim.
against Judah to destroy it, according to the word of the Lord, which he had spoken by his servants, the prophets. Surely at the commandment
God
of the
had
Lord,
God
this
had already
came upon
committed
Judah.
to abandoning Judah and Israel. Right after the king before Josiah, him and his son were pretty bad, and Amon's reign and Manasseh, right? And by the time Josiah took over, even though Josiah was a good king, God had already, he already made up his mind. Like the children of Israel have been just all over the place, right? And so looks like it's about to happen. God has abandoned them, and things are about to get bad.
To remove them from his sight because of the sins of Manasseh, according to all that he had done, and also because of the innocent blood that he had shed. For he had filled Jerusalem with innocent blood, which the Lord would not pardon.
He defiled the temple too, like he put graven images in the temple. Like no conscience.
Now the rest of the acts
Or he
of
didn't
Jehoiakim
listen to his conscience.
and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? So Jehoiakim rested with his fathers. Then Jehoiakim, his son, reigned in his place. And the king of Egypt did not come out of his land any more, for the king of Babylon had taken all that belonged to the king of Egypt from the brook of Egypt to the river Euphrates. Jehoiakim was 18 years old when he became king, and he reigned in Jerusalem 3 months. His mother's name was Nehushta, the daughter of Elnathan of Jerusalem. And he did evil in the sight of the Lord, according to all that his father had done. At that time, the servants of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came up against Jerusalem, and the city was besieged. And Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came against the city as his servants were besieging it. Then Jehoiakim, king of Judah, his mother, his servants, his princes, and his officers went out to the king of Babylon. And the king of Babylon, in the 8th year of his reign, took him prisoner. And he carried out from there all the treasures of the house of the Lord, and the treasures of the king's house. And he cut in pieces all the articles of gold, which Solomon, king of Israel, had made in the temple of the Lord,
cut in pieces,
as the Lord had said. Also he carried into captivity all Jerusalem, all
Easy
the
to transfer?
captains and all the mighty men of valor, 10,000 captives, and all the craftsmen and smiths. None remained except the poorest people of the land. And he carried Jehoiakim captive to Babylon. The king's mother, the king's wives, his officers, and the mighty of the land he carried into captivity from Jerusalem to Babylon. All the valiant men, 7,000, and craftsmen and smiths, 1,000, all who were strong and fit for war, these the king of Babylon brought captive to Babylon. Then the king of Babylon made Mattaniah, Jehoiakim's uncle, king in his place, and changed his name to Zedekiah.
So see, this is why, this is the second time this has happened that we've read, where a ruler, like a conqueror comes over, takes over, and leaves, and makes someone else king, right? I feel like the reason why that happens is now Zedekiah will feel some sort of allegiance to Nebuchadnezzar because he owes his position to him, and now Nebuchadnezzar pretty much owns him now. Like, he'll be under Nebuchadnezzar. Mentally.
He was 21 years old when he became king, and he reigned 11 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Hamutal, the daughter of Jeremiah of Libnah. He also did evil in the sight of the Lord, according to all that Jehoiakim had done. For because of the anger of the Lord, this happened in Jerusalem and Judah, that he finally cast them out from his presence. Then Zedekiah rebelled against the king of Babylon.
Dang, I was just thinking, what if the reason why we don't get these big miraculous signs, we don't get clouds descending onto the temple and filling it with light and all these crazy things, has God turned his, not turned his back, but like, has God, what is the exact word? Has he cast us out from his presence? Because we are living in such a sinful age? Like, he's tried and tried and tried and tried, and that's not to say that we can't do good and we can't worship him, right? Look at Josiah. But is that why we don't see as much really tangible signs of God as we did, like in the Old Testament? Or maybe this is it right here. I don't know. We'll find out. Let me know. What do you guys think about that? Let me know down in the comment section. Or could you, or if you want, can you argue that we do see miraculous things, or you can see God's work like in a visceral way as we did in the Old Testament today? Let me know. That'll be an interesting conversation to have.
In the 9th year of his reign, in the 10th month, on the 10th day of the month, that Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and all his army came against Jerusalem and encamped against it.
That's interesting that they bring up, they always, when something big happens, right, they always say 9th year, 10th month, 10th day, like they make sure the exact date is mentioned. I don't know if that's just to keep a record of the exact date, probably, or it could be this also, because they all followed astrology, right? So they they wanted to keep track. Like, there are people who follow astrology believe that, there are certain times, like a certain month is when you should like launch a business or something like that, because I don't know anything about astrology. But, they make their decisions and their moves based on astrological signs or placements and stuff. So I don't know if this is to keep track of the sky or just to make just have a record of the time of when things happened. Could be both.
Built a siege wall against it all around. So the city was besieged until the 11th year of King Zedekiah. By the 9th day of the 4th month, the famine had become so severe in the city that there was no food for the people of the land.
Famines everywhere.
Then the city wall was broken through, and all the men of war fled at night by way of the gate between two walls, which was by the king's garden, even though the Chaldeans were still encamped all around against the city. And the king went by way of the plain. But the army of the Chaldeans pursued the king, and they overtook him in the plains of Jericho. All his army was scattered from him. So they took the king and brought him up to the king of Babylon at Riblah, and they pronounced judgment on him. Then they killed the sons of Zedekiah before his eyes,
Ouch.
put out the eyes of Zedekiah, bound him with bronze fetters, and took
What are
him
bronze
to Babylon.
fetters? Like handcuffs? Yeah.
And in the 5th month, on the 7th day of the month, which was the 19th year of King Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, a servant of the king of Babylon, came to Jerusalem. He burned the house of the Lord and the king's
Oh
house.
my gosh, the
All
temple
the
is burnt
houses
down.
of Jerusalem, that is, all the houses of the great, he burned with fire. And all the army of the Chaldeans who were with the captain of the guard broke down the walls of Jerusalem all around. Then Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, carried away captive the rest of the people who remained in the city, and the defectors who had deserted to the king of Babylon with the rest of the multitude. But the captain of the guard left some of the poor of the land as vine dressers and farmers. The bronze pillars that were in the house of the Lord, and the carts and the bronze seat that were in the house of the Lord, the Chaldeans broke in pieces and carried their bronze to Babylon. They also took away the pots, the shovels, the trimmers, the spoons, and all the bronze utensils with which the priests ministered, the firepans and the basins, the things of solid gold and solid silver, the captain of the guard took away. The 2 pillars, 1 sea, and the carts which Solomon had made for the house of the Lord. The bronze of all these articles was beyond measure. The height of 1 pillar was 18 cubits, and the capital on it was of bronze. The height of the capital was 3 cubits, and the network and pomegranates all around the capital were all of bronze.
We looked into all.
The second pillar was
We looked
the
into all
same,
this
with a
during the building of Solomon's temple, so you can go back and check those out. And then I have 2 little shorts from this Bible anime series covering it. Also, it talks about the blueprints of the temple and the construction of it. So you can check those out. Those are interesting because it's all animated and whatnot.
And the captain of the guard took Siriah, the chief priest, Zephaniah, the second priest, and the 3 doorkeepers. He also took out of the city an officer who had charge of the men of war, 5 men of the king's close associates who were found in the city, the chief recruiting officer of the army who mustered the people of the land, and 60 men of the people of the land who were found in the city. So Nebuzaradan, captain of the guard, took these and brought them to the king of Babylon at Riblah. Then the king of Babylon struck them and put them to death at Riblah in the land of Hamath. Thus Judah was carried away captive from its own land. Then he made Gedaliah, the son of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan, governor over the people who remained in the land of Judah, whom Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, had left. Now, when all the captains of the armies, they and their men, heard that the king of Babylon had made Gedaliah governor, they came to Gedaliah at Mizpah. Ishmael, the son of Nethaniah, Johanan, the son of Kareah, Sariah, the son of Tanhumeth, the Netophathite, and Jaazaniah, the son of a Maacathite. they and their men. And Gedaliah took an oath before them and their men, and said to them,
Do not be afraid of the servants of the Chaldeans. Dwell in the land, and serve the king of Babylon, and it shall be well with you.
But it happened in the 7th month that Ishmael, the son of Nethaniah, the son of Elishama, of the royal family, came with 10 men and struck and killed Gedaliah, the Jews, as well as the Chaldeans who were with him at Mizpah. And all the people, small and great, and the captains of the armies arose and went to Egypt, for they were afraid of the Chaldeans. Now it came to pass, in the 37th year of the captivity of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, in the 12th month, on the 27th day of the month, that evil Merodach, king of Babylon, in the year that he began to reign, released Jehoiakim, king of Judah, from prison. He spoke kindly to him, and gave him a more prominent seat than those of the kings who were with him in Babylon. So Jehoiakim changed from his prison garments, and he ate bread regularly before the king all the days of his life.
Oh, okay.
And as for his provisions, there was a regular ration given him by the king, a portion for each day, all the days of his life.
Now I want to see. Now it came to pass in the 37th year of the captivity of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, in the 12th month of the 27th day of the month, that evil Merodach, king of Babylon, in the year that he isn't first name evil or what? That he began to reign, released Jehoiakim, king of Judah, from prison. Why though? 27. Evil Merodach succeeded Nebuchadnezzar and reigned a short time. Tablets from the reign of Nabonidus record the daily rations of Jehoiakim, who is called Joachim, king of the land of Yahud, or Judah. Evil Merodach's kindness toward Jehoiakim brings the book of 2 Kings to an end, on a ray of hope. Exile is the end neither of Israel nor of the Davidic line. Yeah, we know that. But I don't see why it brings an end to a ray of hope, because you're in pagan territory, and Jehoiakim is not a godly man, so he's living in, fine. The king of Babylon showed him mercy and released him from jail, but that doesn't mean anything. That means hope for the king of Judah, but not hope for the people, as in a godly sense. So we're gonna have to wait and see for that. I mean, we know what's coming up, right, with all this. So we'll find out. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed today's reading. Tomorrow we'll jump into Chronicles, the first book of Chronicles. Yeah, we finished 2 Kings. Ooh, so tomorrow, this will be interesting. Okay. This is going to be interesting. All right, so we're going to do a genealogy from Adam to Seth. From Adam and Seth to Abraham. Okay, this is going to be cool. This will be cool. All right, because we know that Jesus is from the descendant from the line of David, right? And this will be interesting to I'm just looking at I don't want to. All right, I don't want to look too much. All right, so yeah, we'll check that tomorrow. That's gonna be interesting to see. All right, hope you guys enjoyed today's reading, and tomorrow should be interesting. I'll see you guys then. All right, Take care. Bye-bye.